Even taken the first virtual green flag, but already, God, the politics of iRacing are exhausting. Timmy Hill has launched a nationwide movement, and we'll see how it turns out tonight. It is the first event of the 2021 edition of the NASCAR iRacing Pro Invitational Series, and we're going to focus on that invitational part of the title here in this episode. One driver that was noticeably left off the entry list when NASCAR made it public yesterday was Timmy Hill. Timmy Hill, that's right, Timmy Hill was the force behind NASCAR being one of the top trending topics on social media this morning. What a world we live in. After NASCAR tweeted out the entry list for tonight's Pro Invitational event, Timmy Hill took to Twitter and responded with this: "Competed in every Cup event the last 2 seasons and was the only Cup driver that was left out. Stings a bit." That's right, scrolling down the entry list, Timmy Hill was noticeably left off the entry list for tonight's Bristol Dirt iRacing event. And that was shocking for me to see. That was shocking for pretty much the entire fan base to see, especially once Timmy Hill brought some light to it. I'm not sure if people would have noticed quite so closely if Timmy Hill had not mentioned it, but once he did, oh my. I've not seen NASCAR Twitter blow up like that in quite some time. Timmy Hill actually did an interview with Frontstretch, and they posted this article in which Timmy Hill says that his team, NBC Motorsports real world team, may skip real life cup races due to not being in the Pro Invitational Series this year. He says, "We try to package our real life racing to the Pro Invitational. We kind of really leverage that to sponsors because we try to really package it all together. Really, we had a lot of people who had interest in sponsorship, but we kind of had to put it on hold because we've told them that we've really been left out of the loop on this deal. Nobody from NASCAR will respond to us." I guess the reason is because they knew all along that they didn't either want us in the series or knew that they weren't going to have us. Communication was really not there. It seems to be a common theme that we just kind of get left out. Really silly. Now, I've given you guys all the backstory and I've vented about this enough, but this story perhaps has a happy ending. Now, I'm recording this a little before lunchtime here, the day of the race, so as of now, there's not been official word about whether or not Timmy Hill is going to in fact race tonight, but there was a pretty wholesome exchange on Twitter this morning. Austin Cindric, who's set to drive the 2-car tonight, tweeted this: "Big shoes to fill, subbing for Brad Keselowski. Tight squeeze into his virtual seat. Knees are on the virtual digital dash. And I didn't even have time to pack virtual tear-offs." Haha, very funny. I think Timmy Hill would be the man for the job tonight. What do you think, Keselowski? Brad Keselowski said, "I like where your head's at. Are you in, Timmy Hill?" Team Penske, "We're down. Let's do it, Timmy Hill." As of the time I'm recording this, at least, let me check one more time, but Timmy Hill has not responded publicly, but perhaps he has behind the scenes. Maybe he's texted Penske or Cindric or somebody. No, Timmy Hill has not responded yet. However, there were multiple reports saying that Timmy Hill is expected to drive the 2-car, or drive a Penske car tonight.
Reese is there.
Yeah, he really needs Landon Castle or Smithy in that outside to give him a push, and that's going to happen down the back straightaway. Maybe that can give him the momentum he needs to possibly get side by side with Timmy Hill.
Into turn 4 for the final time. Priest inches away, looks to the inside. Contact, Timmy Hill.
Wow.
He still hasn't won a 500, just about the way it was with Earnhardt when he won his fifth race here. That could change tomorrow. Yep.
19 cars on the lead lap, 2 laps to go. In a race that's seen 37 lead changes and lots of shuffling up front. Who's going to get to the checkered flag first? Here comes Stewart in the 33 as Logano goes to the point. 3 wide in turn 4. A squeeze to the outside wall. Trouble in the corner. Hard, vicious crash. Who gets through to win the race? Caution flag has just been called. The race leader is James Busher in the 30 car.
Unbelievable.
A heavy crash in the final corner of the race. Kyle Busch's car.
There for Rhodes. That's going to open up enough gap. I think he's got this, baby, Vince.
And the caution is out, and it will be Ben Rhodes back to back to open the season.
Ben Rhodes, that's 2 in a row. Daytona, baby.
His 5th career win, his 2nd in as many weeks.
Creed.
Creed supporting. Oh, and the caution is out, but he has taken the white, so that will do it. And Sheldon Creed will be the winner as Haley Deegan has had contact, brought out the caution, and Sheldon Creed gets his first.
Both of them and get the lead. Zane Smith, it's 3 wide as they come to the line. The white flag is out. Gilliland spins. They took the lead. The caution is out.
Wait, did they take? Is that it? Did Zane get it? Because they took the white.
Smith is the winner.
All right, and you start in ninth, you said, top 10 start. What do you have to do in the race to maintain the top 10 or even come away with the victory?
Yeah, this car is a new car to our fleet, so we're still trying to learn it. But overall, we're just going to hustle as much as we can, try to make good pit stops, and hope for good results.
All right, cool, thanks.
Part of the playoffs, and that's what a battle's all about. And Derek came up just short, but great season for that young man.
Yeah, and keep in mind, Derek Kraus, 19 years old. So he's got a lot of racing ahead of him, and it was indeed, I would agree, Mike, an impressive run.
3.5-mile tracks, he's led us to the green.
And the only Cup driver to win a pole, Ryan Blaney at Texas. That's the one thing that I picked up on there. You see Timmy Hill in the 66 car actually below that white line.
Yeah, and it looked like a nice line, not only through 1 and 2 there, but coming up to speed through 3 and 4. So we could see enough speed out of the 66 car where people will say, I think the track's ready.
We said put a rabbit out there. This is a fast rabbit. He's going after it.
Well, he ran a 31:13 in that first practice, which was his fastest lap on Thursday. And he picks it up about 3/4 of a second to a 30:36.
That's all I need to see. If I'm a racer, Larry, I'm ready to go. This track's all right.
5 minutes into this opening session, and exactly one car has been out and made a qualifying run, Regan.
Well, one car's been out for that qualifying run.
I'm going to give a shout out to Timmy Hill in that 66 car. No matter what they end up in this next round, that is a steel-bodied car. When you run a steel-bodied car right now, you have to spot 150 pounds of weight. You have a lot less downforce, and this is a Dodge body. I mean, this is, I think, the last year you can run a Dodge, so I'm going to give a thumbs up to that.
They qualified 22nd at Dover. I mean, this is something to celebrate for them.
They're starting to come around. I think they're putting it all together. But I tell you what else, Larry, that makes this more impressive. He drove out there on the racetrack first. He put a lap down. We talked about him. Adam said he's a rabbit. He put a number on the board that showed the other competitors this track is ready to go. Not only did he do that, he's going to advance to round 2.
He's still fighting that.
There's a lot of trucks slipping aside. What about Timmy Hill? Phil, we talked about him earlier, up to the 12th position. He's driving that truck just like Ted Musgrave used to.
Without a doubt, Ted was so good at this racetrack, one of his best racetracks. But Timmy is doing an outstanding job here.
That's great. We'll watch that. Here's your stage points earned today so far. Christian Eckes with 18, Corey Heim tied. They have just been neck and neck from this drop of the green flag.
See Jake Garcia with 5. And how about Timmy Hill? Finished 9th in this second stage here. What a great run.
Beautiful.
Great
job for Timmy.
The pits are open. They're coming your way, Amanda.
And look at the back of Timmy Hill's number 1. Pushed way up. Had to have been a little bit too hard on the bump drafting.
I believe that's the 75 of Caleb Holman that's right behind the one. You see him just get seized up a little bit. Nice job by Timmy Hill saving that truck, and very fortunate for Miguel Paludo in that 32 truck that Timmy Hill didn't catch his right rear quarter panel.
Sean Core as well down on the inside. That was an amazing job by Timmy Hill. Just wasn't anticipating him checking up in the draft like he did and got clobbered.
Bush still side by side, 3 wide as they go down the backstretch.
This is amazing.
Pushing as hard as you can and driving as hard as you can, looking for the checker flag with an engine that's about to blow up.
Ross Chastain has the advantage down on the bottom. He's still in front. Here comes that 98 and the 88 tandem in the middle of the track. Johnny Sauter, he won at Daytona earlier this year. Can he do it again? They wreck behind him. They're rolling behind him. Now the 88 spins. Thor Sport is going to win. It's going to be Johnny Sauter that will get the win, but they wreck behind him.
Matt Crafton has not got to the start-finish line yet.
And they're still wrecking. Crafton does slide by the start-finish line. The 32 of Miguel Paludo was upside down. It's on fire now.
Don't know that I've seen 3 sets of tandem drafters run that long side by side. What made the difference for you guys coming down the stretch?
You know, I just watched last year's race and studied it pretty hard the other night, and we ran second, and we hooked up with a tandem with Parker, and kind of drove away from everybody. So I think everybody's studying, everybody's getting smarter.
Jeremy Clements runs in third, Justin Allgaier in fourth. Into the tunnel turn for the final time for race leader Chase Briscoe.
So a checkered flag awaiting Chase Briscoe, $100,000 awaiting Ross Chastain. That's your top two. They're separated by 10 car lengths. He could coast it home from here. Chase Briscoe off 3 for the final time.
Here he comes digging hard for the bottom of the racetrack. He'll swing it wide up against the wall. For the 4th time in 2020, Chase Briscoe is a winner in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. He picks up the win today in the Pocono Green 225. Ross Chastain will finish in second. He will collect the Xfinity Dash for Cash $100,000 bonus with Jeremy Clements, Myatt Snyder, and Michael Annett, your top 5 finishers.
Chastain trying to get to the bumper of Gilliland. He's there, but Gilliland holds him off for now. The white flag is out. Todd Gilliland trying to hold off Ross Chastain. Chastain gives him the bumper. Harrison Burton into Chastain. Burton goes around. Still green, and Gilliland comes through 3, makes his way through turn 4, and after the longest wait in KBM history, it's Todd Gilliland winning at Martinsville.
Ben Rhodes to the outside, making it 3 wide, coming out of turn 4. Trucks in the wall. Side by side, Nick Sanchez sideways. Christian Eckes wins the race, hangs on to it. What a day.
Right there, does it? Still smoking.
Yeah, a lot of smoke. They put 4 fresh tires on that thing, but Steve, what's going on with that car?
Well, the rear suspension's obviously failed. It's moving left and right. The tires are rubbing, but the race for the lead has heated up. Justin Allgaier cannot get by the 4 of Castle. He is completely in the way, and finally the slide job, and he gets all the way up into the fence, but his lead is gone. It's 3 car lengths.
3 wins already in 2019. 1 lap to go from Bristol. He has fought. He has fallen back. And now he's battled all the way up to the front. Tyler Reddick is going to win at Bristol.
Hell yeah. Green flag, green flag. Hold your line. Hold your line.
Busch going to make the move to try and get the lead himself. Jumps up in front of Joey Logano in the outside lane. Logano's not by him.
Middle.
Contact. Here comes Stenhouse to the back bumper of that 1. Going to try and push. Logano 18, Sadler 2. Here comes Dillon with Michael Annett's help in the 43. Who's going to win it? Oh, trouble. Austin Dillon spins. Kurt Busch wins. Oh, a hard hit. Oh, another hard. Look at the results of tonight's Subway Jalapeno 250 at Daytona. Kurt Busch celebrating in victory lane after a wild night. Top 10s for Mike Bliss, Timmy Hill, Joey Logano wound up 5th. And we go to Dr. Jerry Punch.
Coming to 1 lap to go. Woo. Sponsored by Credit One Bank. Byron out front by a second. This is the battle for second place.
Oh, contact.
Bump
Timmy
and
Hill,
run.
almost 3 wide as they come to the checkered.
But Nemechek hangs on for second. William Byron is the winner.
Has to be reinforced as they come through the Geico restart zone. We are in overtime, presented by Credit One Bank. Little help there by Elliott Sadler. Behind Kyle Larson. Here comes Justin Allgaier. Allgaier in the 7s, getting a little help from Haley. And Haley is helping the 7 almost get the nose in front of the 42 of Kyle Larson.
Hope the 22 gets to you, pushing in front of the 42.
Side by side down the backstretch.
What matters now is what line's going to get the help from behind. What's Blaney going to do here? There's going to be a huge push from the top.
Side draft once again. Larson. Elliott
and Sadler, side by side, coming into the tri-oval. They bump. 3 wide. The big move on the inside. A huge win for Haley.
Wow. Where did that run come from?
It's been quite a drought for Rhodes. He last won in July of 2018. More than 2 years. 48 races. That drought is over. Ben Rhodes has won at Darlington.
I didn't like pitting there, Vince. I thought with just the overtime.
Timmy Hill, probably not the night you wanted, but you held on for 20th in points, I believe. What does that mean for your team?
Well, it means that we got a little extra money coming in this winter. You know, that's a nice thing. But overall, 20th in points. It's a nice season. Yeah, we didn't have the greatest night tonight, but we did just enough to hold on to it. Overall, I think we had higher hopes for the season. We thought we'd be closer to the top 15 range, but all in all, 20th in our first really true full-time season. It's a nice season. I think it's a nice place to build on for next season, and let's see if we do a little better then.
You beat some trucks, some pretty good, well-funded trucks out for that 20th spot. Does that kind of, put a feather in the cap of you guys, or?
Yeah, it's we definitely look at that. We definitely notice that some of the equipment that we're beating is anywhere from 5 times to 10 times the budget that we're on. So it tickles us. It can be rewarding. At the same time, we hold ourselves to such a high standard that we like to think we'll be able to do that. So we look at it 2 ways, but nonetheless, it's rewarding, and it makes the season that much more of an accomplishment for us.
Outside.
It's not going. There goes Clements. He's going to be clear.
Clements clears. The 44 follows him. Sage Karam pushing Jeremy Clements out to a big lead.
Look behind them, the 16 of AJ and Brandon Brown. They're teamed up as well. They're going to have a huge run off of turn 2.
They're going to get separated by the time they get to 2. That's going to slow them down. Look how far Jeremy Clements has gotten out in front of everybody.
Big run for Brandon Brown with the assistance of Allmendinger.
Here comes Brandon Brown closing in on Clements. Clements trying to block, trying to slow this down. Here comes AJ to the bottom. Can Clements get there?
Brandon Brown made that move way too soon. Inside. That allowed Allmendinger just to turn left on him.
Coming up on one more time around, and around goes the 98. Will they get the white flag? The white flag in the air.
Back to the top.
Jeremy Clements in front, and the caution comes out. That will end the race. Jeremy Clements is going to win at Daytona.
Pretty even lines right there. A lot of separation, to be honest with you, for a restart with 3 to go. But they're
nice move by Noah Gragson. He's got a great side draft off of Chase Briscoe.
And a lot of help with Harrison Burton. Some good cars right there. The bottom line is definitely broke up.
Briscoe coming back in that inside lane. Drafting help from Brandon Jones.
Top is a little stronger here. You see 4 cars versus 3. A little bit of help coming from behind.
Alex LeBay, the Canadian, in that mix. 4th car back in the top row. Off of turn 4, 2 to go this time by. They continue side by side.
Bottom lane is definitely forming quick.
Briscoe led that lap.
Boy, if they keep at it like this is going to be a dead even finish.
Somebody will be in the middle. A lot of side drafting right here. I'm really surprised how much separation there is in the cars. I know it won't last long. You're going to see a lot of side drafting, some set.
Next time around, we'll see the white flag.
Chase Briscoe doing a great job covering the move on the 19 of Brandon Jones, but now the top is really strong.
Brandon Jones is really struggling to stay on Chase Briscoe.
Gregson got that push.
Look at Timmy Hill with a big push on the 20. Harrison Burton, he's going to have a big run right here.
9 leading as we come back to the white flag. But here comes the 20 of Harrison Burton. Across the start-finish line, 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank.
This is where I feel like you got to get to the lead. You never know if that caution's going to come out. You see Harrison Burton go down to the bottom. I feel like Look at Gregson. He's way out front.
He's
right
way
here.
out there.
Yep.
Big push coming from Timmy Hill.
Timmy Hill, this is incredible. What a Cinderella story it would be if he won this thing.
Man, he didn't stay on.
He's got a chance at it. There's not a lot of energy right now. They need to reform.
There's your wreck.
And there's a crash.
Very wreck I was telling you about.
Will we keep the green out or will they throw the caution? No caution yet for now. They're racing back. Gregson leads.
Yellow's out.
They're coming off of turn 4. There's the caution flag. It's over at Daytona. First career victory for Noah Gregson.
Hey, Junior Motorsports, great job.
I'll tell you what, he drove a great race, guys. The move he made there on Chase Briscoe, back to the top, down to get those side drafts, really organized his lane and helped. That was a really, really nice job by
Timmy Hill, 3rd place. You see the pushes that he was giving Harris Burton. Man, I'm telling you, that was materializing to be wild off of turn 4.